I recorded every insult, every cruel comment they made about my cooking. And when they called me heartless for refusing to host Christmas, I hit play. Their faces went white as their own voices filled the room. For 10 years, I was the family doormat. Every holiday, every birthday, every random Sunday dinner happened at my house. Not because anyone asked, because everyone just expected it. I'm Akira, and my husband Hiroshi's family treated me like their personal caterer. At first, I loved it. Cooking elaborate meals, decorating until everything looked magazine perfect, watching everyone gather around my table. It felt good making people happy. But appreciation has an expiration date. The thank yous disappeared. The gratitude died. Instead of grateful guests, I got entitled customers with endless complaints. Sachiko, my mother-in-law, always found something wrong. You didn't follow my recipe exactly. Yuki, my sister-in-law, treated my food like poison. Well, I guess I'll choke this down. Kenji, my brother-in-law, showed up with random friends without warning. Hope you made extra for 5 more people. And Hiroshi? My own husband never defended me. You know how they are, Akira. Just ignore it. So I ignored it. Until I couldn't anymore. Last Christmas, I went all out. Days of shopping, prepping, cooking from scratch. Homemade bread, perfectly roasted turkey, 15 different sides, multiple desserts. The house looked like a winter wonderland. They arrived 2 hours late. No apology. No, wow, this looks incredible. Nothing. Sachiko wrinkled her nose at my mashed potatoes. These taste different. Store-bought would have been easier. Yuki sighed dramatically. I suppose we'll pretend to enjoy this. Kenji walked in with 2 strangers. Brought some friends. You don't mind, right? Hiroshi just stood there. Silent. Useless. But the moment that shattered everything, Yuki marched into my kitchen, opened my refrigerator, pulled out a store-bought pumpkin pie, and announced loudly, well, at least this will actually taste good. Everyone laughed, including my husband. I stood there, heart hammering, hands shaking, while they acted like humiliating me was entertainment. That's when I made my decision. I turned off the oven, removed my apron, walked to the Christmas tree, and unplugged it. The room went dead silent. I'm done, I said. I will never host another event for this family. Hiroshi's face crumbled. Akira, what are you doing? The fake tears started immediately. Yuki's eyes welled up. I guess you just don't care about family. Sachiko gasped like I'd slapped her. How could you be so selfish? Kenji muttered. God, it was just a joke. Don't be so sensitive. And Hiroshi? He glared at me with actual disgust. How can you be this cold? I almost laughed in his face. After years of them treating me like unpaid help, I was the villain. That's when I remembered something beautiful. I record myself while cooking. It's my hobby, documenting recipes, talking through techniques, sometimes posting little videos online. That day, my camera caught everything. Every insult. Every passive-aggressive comment. Every cruel joke at my expense. I pulled out my phone and smiled. Oh, I care deeply. That's exactly why I recorded everything. Then I hit play. The color drained from their faces as their own voices filled the room. Yuki's smug tone. Well, at least this will actually taste good. Sachiko's condescending voice. Store-bought would have been easier. Kenji chuckling. Hope you don't mind 5 extra people. Hiroshi with genuine disgust. How can you be this cold? Pure silence. Yuki's tears evaporated instantly. Sachiko's lips pressed into a razor-thin line. Kenji studied the floor like it held state secrets. And Hiroshi? He looked ashamed. Finally. I tucked my phone away. Still think I'm cold? Nobody answered. I grabbed my coat. Dinner's in the fridge. Help yourselves to my cold, terrible cooking. Then I walked out of my own house. The guilt trip text started that night. Hiroshi, you really embarrassed us in front of everyone. Yuki, I don't understand why you had to cause a scene. Sachiko, we need to have a serious conversation about your behavior. I ignored every single one. 3 months. 3 glorious months without hosting, cooking, or responding to their manipulation. Want family gatherings? Figure it out yourselves. And Hiroshi learned fast what it felt like being on the receiving end. When Easter came, he tried hosting once. Just once. Sachiko complained his food wasn't made with love. Yuki criticized everything he cooked. Kenji showed up 2 hours late with even more uninvited guests. Hiroshi looked miserable. That's when he finally understood what I'd endured for a decade. But understanding doesn't equal change. For the first time in years, I was free. No planning. No stressing. No wondering if there'd be enough food for surprise guests. And guess what? They survived. They took turns hosting, each pretending it was no big deal. But I could feel the cracks forming. The first explosion was Yuki. One night, Hiroshi came home looking traumatized. What happened? I asked, not really caring but knowing he'd tell me anyway. He collapsed into his chair. Yuki lost it completely tonight. I raised an eyebrow. Lost it how?
She was hosting.
Made simple spaghetti. Mom said the sauce was too sweet. Kenji said the pasta was overcooked. Yuki snapped, threw the entire pot of sauce in the sink, and screamed at everyone to get out. I bit my lip to stop myself from laughing. How quickly the mighty fall. But it got better. Few weeks later, Sachiko's turn to host. She always acted like the perfect hostess, constantly throwing passive-aggressive digs at my cooking. This time, she cracked. She forgot her ham in the oven. It came out dry as cardboard. Yuki made a face and said, "At least this will taste good," mocking her own earlier comment. Sachiko burst into tears. Kenji, trying to help, laughed and said, "Now you know how we felt eating Akira's cooking." The table went silent. Yuki glared daggers at him. Sachiko stormed off crying. Hiroshi sat there watching his perfect family implode. All because I'd simply stepped away. The family group chat died after that. Then Sachiko reached out directly. 3 months after I'd stopped hosting, I got a text. "We need to talk. Can we meet for lunch?" My gut screamed trap, but curiosity won. I agreed. She was already at the cafe when I arrived, sipping tea, nails tapping anxiously against her cup. "Thanks for coming," she said too sweetly.
Sure.
I kept my voice neutral. She went straight for the kill. "I was thinking maybe you could host Christmas again this year. You've had your break, right?" I almost burst out laughing. She looked at me with fake sincerity, like she was offering some great honor instead of the same hell I'd escaped. I set my coffee down.
No.
Her smile froze. No.
No.
Something ugly flashed in her eyes. "Well, we're family. Family makes sacrifices." I held her gaze steadily. "I sacrificed plenty. 10 years of cooking, cleaning, decorating, hosting, then listening to all of you insult me. I don't owe you anything, Sachiko." Her lips pressed into that familiar thin line. "I didn't mean it like that." "Yes, you did." For the first time in years, I saw it. Loss of control. The realization that I wasn't coming back to play the role she'd assigned me. She sighed, sitting back. "It's just a shame. The kids always loved coming to your house." There it was. The manipulation card. I don't have children, but I adored my nieces and nephews. She knew that. I exhaled slowly. "You're really going to try emotional blackmail?" She didn't answer. Just sipped her tea, waiting for me to cave, waiting for the guilt to kick in. But it didn't. I stood up, grabbed my purse. "Have a wonderful Christmas, Sachiko." And I walked out. I could have ended it there. But Sachiko doesn't surrender easily. When Hiroshi got home that night, he was pale. "What did you say to my mother?" "Why?" He ran a hand through his hair. "She called crying, saying you were cruel to her." "Of course. And what exactly did she say I did?" He hesitated. "She said you shut her down when she was trying to make peace." I stared at him. "And you believe that?" His silence said everything. I grabbed my phone, found the lunch recording, and hit play. Sachiko's voice filled the room. "It's just a shame. The kids always loved coming to your house." I watched his face fall as he heard every manipulative word, every fake apology. I paused it. Still think I was cruel? He sat down slowly. I didn't know it was like that. No, I said sharply. You didn't want to know. For one moment, I thought this was it. The moment he'd finally step up, call out his family, actually be on my side. But then I saw that stubborn look cross his face. The one that meant he wasn't ready to let go. She was just trying to talk to you, he muttered. Are you serious? My voice rose. That wasn't an apology. That was manipulation. He rubbed his face. I don't know why you have to be so extreme. It's family. And there it was. Even with all the proof, even after everything they'd put me through, he still defended them. A cold, sinking feeling settled in my chest. I think I just got my answer. The final nail came the next weekend. I thought Sachiko had backed off. I should have known better. I came home from errands to find her car in my driveway. And she wasn't alone. I walked into my own living room to find Yuki and Kenji sitting there like they owned the place. Hiroshi sat in the middle, looking like a deer in headlights. And Sachiko was holding our wedding album, flipping through it like some soap opera villain. We just wanted to talk, she said, smiling like she wasn't the destroyer of my peace. I dropped my bags. You have 5 seconds to tell me why you're here before I throw all of you out. Yuki gave me that fake hurt voice. We're family. We can't keep doing this. Doing what? Me having boundaries? Sachiko sighed dramatically, closing the album. You're punishing us. I laughed. Punishing you for having to host your own holidays? Yuki's face twisted. It's not the same. The kids don't even like going anymore. They miss your house. They miss your cooking. Let me make this crystal clear, I said, folding my arms. I am done forever. I will never host another event for this family again. Yuki gasped like I'd announced I was burning the house down. But
No.
I cut her off. Get out. Sachiko's face dropped. Excuse me?
Get out.
Hiroshi stood up quickly. Wait, hold on. No, you hold on. I snapped, turning to him. Did you invite them here? He hesitated. That half-second pause told me everything. You did. I shook my head. Wow. I just thought if we all talked, we could. You thought you could gang up on me? I corrected. His mouth opened and closed. No excuse. No defense. That was it. The moment I knew this wasn't just about his family anymore. It was him too. He would never choose me. Never defend me. Never put me first. I was done waiting for him to change. I want a divorce. The words fell out before I could second-guess them. The room went dead silent. Yuki's mouth dropped open. Kenji looked like he was watching a live execution. Hiroshi's face went white. Wait, what?
His voice cracked.
You don't mean that. I do. This is ridiculous, Sachiko hissed. I turned to her, calm and cold. You wanted me gone, Sachiko. Congratulations. You win. Then I looked at Hiroshi, whose eyes were full of panic. I deserve better than this. I deserve better than you. His hands trembled. We can fix this.
No.
We can't. I walked to the front door and held it open. All of you.
Get out.
Nobody moved at first. Then Kenji of all people muttered, damn, grabbed his coat, and headed for the door. Yuki looked like she wanted to scream. Sachiko opened her mouth to argue, but I didn't give her the chance.
No.
For the first time ever, Sachiko had no control. She grabbed her purse and stormed out. Yuki followed, still sniffling. Hiroshi just stood there, looking at me like I was ripping his world apart. Maybe I was. But I didn't care. A month later, I filed for divorce. Hiroshi begged.
He cried.
He made every excuse in the book. Too late. I moved out, got my own place, and for the first time in years, I felt free. Yuki tried reaching out. Sachiko sent letters I threw away unopened. Kenji just shrugged and said, can't blame you. Hiroshi had to host Christmas that year. From what I heard, it was a complete disaster. I spent a decade trying to be enough for people who never deserved me. In the end, I learned the most important lesson of all. Never light yourself on fire to keep other people warm. I walked away from that family, that marriage, that entire toxic mess. And I have never looked back.